The series begins with our heroine during an exam. We find out that she's a medical student, but she's not focused and loses track of time. The professor takes her paper before she finishes answering, but she doesn't care and rushes home, all because she wants to prepare a birthday cake for her best friend Jack, who she's had a crush on for 5 years. Suddenly, as she's walking, she bumps into Jack himself. He tells her, "You have to come to my birthday party today. There's something important I need to tell you, and you have to listen." Our heroine is thrilled, thinking that he's finally going to confess his feelings for her. She starts daydreaming about their future together and tells her friends, "From today, we're officially a couple, right?" They cheer her on and say, "Of course, guys like Jack don't come around often." Back at home, she prepares the cake and takes it with her. Then she starts thinking about what to wear but can't find anything suitable. She decides to go out and buy something new. While walking, she accidentally bumps into a guy named John, the most handsome and top student at the college, also very popular. She apologizes and offers to compensate him, but he doesn't care and seems about to start an argument. She runs off and meets her friend Yo-Yo. She tells Yo-Yo that today is Jack's birthday and that he said he wanted to tell her something important. Yo-Yo teases, "Is he going to ask you out?" She replies, "Say inshallah. Don't give me that look. Your eyes are full of doubt." Yo-Yo laughs and says, "All right, bestie, but you better confess your feelings before Jenny snatches him away. She's been eyeing him for a while now, just saying." Finally, when our heroine arrives at the party, there's no one there. She waits until Jack arrives and he's in a terrible state. He's even pouring juice and crying. She says to him, "Wait, is someone really crying on their birthday?" He replies, "Sorry, I just can't get over it." She says, "Get over what? Sorry. Just so there's no misunderstanding now. Get over what exactly?" He says, "Get over love." She replies, "Excuse me? Love? Whose love? You brought me here to sell tarot or something? Aren't you going to confess to me? I'm ready to confess, by the way. I'm ready. I like you too." So I say, "Wait, what are you saying? You too? How? That can't be." Anyway, turns out Jenny and I have been in a relationship for years and we kept it hidden from you. And now Jenny is mad at me. She says, "Look, can you help us make up?" She says, "I swear to God, I love you so much I could die." And now our heroine is in total shock. She says to him, "No, sorry. What are you even saying? I feel like I've gone deaf or something." He tells her, "Jenny and I are in a relationship and we love each other, but we had a fight and she wants to break up with me. Please help us make up. It would be a good deed." She says, "A good deed? Is your name Jack? Well, Jack, may grief strike you. Get out of my face before I crack your head open." She says that and starts crying because she really wasn't expecting this at all, especially not from Jenny, who had once told her that she had feelings for Jack. What hurts our heroine even more is that Jack doesn't even care about her crying, and he rushes off to meet Jenny. She is eating cake and saying to him, "What a shame for you," then calls her friend Yo-Yo and asks her to come pick her up because she plans to cause some trouble. She tells Yo-Yo, "Help me," and when Yo-Yo arrives, she asks, "What are you going to do now?" She replies, "I'll regret it, of course, but first, I need to go to the bathroom." When she goes, she finds out it was a men's bathroom, and our hero was locked inside with them. She remembers kicking him out of the bathroom because he was also there. The rumors start to spread at the college that she is chasing after Ahmed Ez, and all the girls who like him start bothering her. Our heroine gets upset and decides to confront him. When she reaches the swimming pool, she finds him there, and she remembers him drowning. She rushes to save him and he tells her, "Leave it. Don't worry about it anymore." He then says, "Sorry, but what were you doing?" She replies, "I thought you were drowning, so I came to save you." He tells her, "Don't think about it again because you look stupid. Now leave." She says, "Look, I'll leave, but first I want to make a deal with you so these rumors end. You must have sisters and you're a good guy, well raised, not someone who causes problems." He responds, "What else? Should I tell you? I don't even want to hear you." He says he won't agree to anything. Our heroine gets upset and suddenly starts crying, asking him to change her clothes. He gives her a set of his clothes, but what seemed like a kind gesture turns against her. She leaves wearing his clothes, and her friends see her. The rumors are confirmed, and now they think they are together, so they continue to talk badly about her. She overhears them and gets upset. She runs away and skips the next lecture. She tells Yo-Yo everything that happened, explaining how the girls are spreading bad rumors about her and claiming she's dating someone better than her. Am I really that bad? She asks. Yo-Yo tries to comfort her, saying, Don't worry, he's not one of us and you won't see his face again. She replies, You're right, but I haven't finished talking yet when he walks in. They inform the doctor that he will be here, God willing, because he is working on his master's thesis, and they all need to help him. Everyone is shocked, and our heroine realizes that her friend has bad intentions towards her. Meanwhile, our hero looks at her and gives her a suspicious smile, dear viewers, and begins to doubt them all even more. When the lecture ends, she rushes to their shop. As soon as her mom sees her, she asks why Jack didn't come with her. She replies, Nothing. He turned out to be in a relationship, and I ended up being the fool. Her mom reassures her, saying, Don't be upset, my daughter. I'll marry you to a good man. This one seemed like a kid, not marriage material. Forget about him. I've made a baked macaroni with bechamel. It's worth your mouth. Let me go get you a plate. She leaves, but suddenly she finds our hero walking in. As soon as she sees him, she runs to hide. Then she realizes that she's actually in their shop. She asks him, What's your deal? What exactly do you want from me? He replies, Look, I'm not kicking you out. I'm just here to buy 2 kilos of apples. Suddenly, while they're talking, her mom hints at Jack approaching the shop, and she tells him, Look, don't act like you saw me. If anyone asks about me, I'm not here. She runs off to hide. When Jack enters and asks about her, our hero points to her hiding spot without hesitation. There she is, behind the fruit, he says. She comes out and asks Jack what he wants. He tells her, I'm here to apologize because I left you last time. Anyway, I'm going out, and we're heading to a restaurant. I'd like you to join us. Our heroine hesitates, unsure how to refuse without upsetting him. When our hero notices, he encourages her, saying, Go ahead, I'll come with you. They all head to the restaurant, and our heroine starts to play the victim, apologizing to them for hiding things from her. It's okay, I'm not upset. It doesn't matter to me at all, honestly. A small thing doesn't bother me, she says. When she goes to the bathroom, she breaks down in tears. On their way home, our heroine notices how much Jenny and Jack love each other, and she gets really upset. When our hero notices that she's about to cry, he says, Wait, are you about to start crying now or what? He then grabs her and starts running with her back home. She starts thinking about everything that happened and makes a final decision to distance herself from them and focus on her own life. The next day, she goes to university and thanks our hero for helping her the day before. She asks him for his address so she can send him a cake. He does give her his address, but she discovers it's a place for the head, a metaphor, possibly referring to a place with authority. His friends are waiting for him there. She decides to wait for him as well, but suddenly she hears a girl from the university with them. She tells them, Look at this move, and runs to hide behind the couch. Our hero says to her, I didn't see you like this. Anyway, this is safe. She's my cousin. Her name is Lynn, by the way, and she won't say anything. He then asks her to walk with him, and he offers to take her home. When she arrives at the dorm, she notices that the gate is closed. The security guard opens it for her, and she enters. The next day, she wakes up to find that the rumors have resurfaced even stronger than before because the security guard told them that she saw our hero coming with him last night. Are they really dating? People start asking. Everyone begins spreading silly posts about her and they start bullying her again. Our heroine decides to confront him about this, and she knows he has a lecture. She writes a note and asks him to sign it. He asks, What should I sign? What do you want to understand? She tells him to sign, but he refuses to sign anything he doesn't understand. These rumors are affecting me and my academic level. He says, No, you're the top student in the university. Your level is way beyond what anyone could imagine. I'm still surprised. How did you even get into medicine? You're barely passing with a C. She replies, May God make my face worthy of passing, my son. By the way, I was planning to get an A. You're going to carry my blame now because of these rumors. I won't be able to do well because of them. He doesn't care and leaves the lecture. When she goes to her cooking club, she starts meeting new girls to bring them into her circle. However, all they do is ask her about our hero, what he likes, what he hates, so she kicks them all out. Suddenly, our hero arrives, and they find out they're going to work together on his research. She seizes the opportunity and decides to take him to the lab to scare him off, thinking he'll be afraid. But he turns out to be brave, not afraid of anything, and her plan fails. She gets upset, and he notices. He asks her about it, and she tells him, I have an oral exam and I'm scared. He reassures her, saying, Don't worry, I believe in you. She feels happy and reassured, heading to her exam with full confidence. However, she finds out that the doctor is dividing them into groups, and by chance she ends up in a group with Jack. Not only that, but also with John, as the viewers would say. What a situation I wish for my enemies. When the doctor asks her a question, she can't answer and ends up with a 0. The important thing is, though, confidence in yourself. It doesn't matter about the 0. Everyone starts bullying her and she feels embarrassed, but our hero stands up, defends her, and shuts everyone down. When the lecture ends, our heroine quickly leaves. Jack follows her, but Jenny stops him and says, "I'm sure she doesn't want to see you now. She'll feel embarrassed by you." She continues to scold him, and he decides not to approach her again. At the same time, our hero approaches our heroine and reassures her, saying, "Don't worry, I'm confident you're smart." He asks her why she didn't answer, and she says she was nervous because of all the rumors. He feels sorry for her and insists on helping her. Not only that, but he also tells her that he's agreed to sign the contract and the rules to stop the rumors from spreading about her. Our heroine is finally happy. He then asks her, "Aren't you scared you might fall in love or something?" She responds, "Fall in love with you? Don't you see your face in the mirror, my son? And you're not my type. You're going to be my husband. So sign it and let's get this over with." After signing the papers and the rules, they agree to avoid each other outside of lectures or the lab. She leaves and heads to the library where she runs into Jack. Seizing the opportunity, he tries to talk to her, asking if John is trying to upset her. He learns that she's willing to talk to him and Jenny, but she gets upset and tells him, "John doesn't do anything to me, and I don't want to talk to you because you lied to me and kept things from me all this time. Because of you, my heart is broken." She walks away and goes to meet our hero, who gives her a map of secret places where they can meet, away from the lab. He also tells her that he found a way to stop the rumors by having her get into a relationship. She asks, "With who? I don't really find anyone suitable." He tells her he'll help, and he gives her a list with photos of many young men to choose from. One of the pictures is of him, and she says, "What are you doing here?" He replies, "Take note, I'm also the most handsome guy here." She responds, "Show me the rest of the pictures and shut your mouth." When he shows her the pictures, she finds one she likes, a guy named Wang. She says, "This one, I love him already. I want to be with him. Dad, can you get me this one?" He says, "Sure, whatever you want." She then tells him, "Okay, now show me how to make him fall in love with me." Our hero starts giving her lessons on how to make Wang like her. However, when she tries applying the lessons instead of falling in love with her, Wang gets scared and runs away because of her strange behavior and suspicious actions. She goes to our hero and complains to him. He reassures her, saying, "Don't worry, this is just the first lesson. As long as I'm behind you, I'll bring you down to earth. Don't worry about anything." She replies, "It's not that, but something is scaring me. I have to follow you because I don't know anyone else who can help me." He then suggests that they train together on how to make Wang fall in love with her. She starts acting sweetly and trying to win his affection. Wang begins to suspect that he might be falling for her. Our hero grows jealous and tries to ruin her relationship with Wang. When she asks for his help in choosing clothes for her date with Wang, he says, Wow, that's the perfect outfit. You look amazing. I'm sure Wang will fall for you after seeing you in these clothes, and he might even ask for your hand in marriage." However, as expected by our viewers, he gives her a ninja outfit instead. He says, "What did you do to yourself? What is this look? You look horrible." Our heroine gets upset and says, "What a shame. This was supposed to be stylish." The next day, she goes to our hero, expecting to argue with him about the outfit he made her wear. But instead, she is shocked to find that their plan worked. She explains, "Yesterday, I argued with him, but we both challenged each other and played together. Everything became nice after that." She realizes that they've become closer, and he advises her, "My advice to you, for now stay away from him and focus on your studies. Let him realize that you're smart and not a silly girl." Of course, she's the one being naive and believes him. When she goes to the library feeling exhausted, Jack and Jenny enter and notice her. Jack wants to help, but Jenny, the manipulative one, stops him. She observes how no one wants to get close to her or help her. But then, our hero enters, reassures her, and offers to take her back to the dorm. During the walk, he takes the opportunity to continue supporting her. He asks her what she plans to do with Wang and how long she's going to keep pushing away people who don't like her. She replies that she doesn't know and feels confused. When she returns to her room, she starts thinking about everything happening around her and wonders how long she's going to keep dealing with this. She talks to her friend Yo-Yo, who advises her to think carefully. Yo-Yo suggests that if she really likes Wang, there are many qualities that could make him her perfect guy, and she shouldn't let him slip away. Be patient. With time, he'll fall for you, she says. She agrees with her friend's advice. The next day, she bakes a cake and gives it to her hero to deliver to Wang. However, her hero ends up eating the cake himself and lies to her when he meets her. He tells her that Wang loved the cake and was impressed by it. He manipulates her, taking advantage of her naivety, and continues to eat the cake every day while pretending to deliver it. One day, she receives a message from Wang, asking to meet her to hang out. She's excited, thinking the cake worked, but when she meets him, she finds out that Wang has an allergy to cake and can't eat it. She's shocked and goes to her hero to ask who really enjoyed the cake. He laughs and tells her, "Don't worry, it's safe. The cake has been in my stomach all along." She now realizes that he's been lying to her this whole time. Laughing at her, she tells him, "We need to end this contract between us now," and gets upset. The hero, frustrated with her attitude, agrees and leaves. However, when he returns to his room, he starts thinking about her, which makes him angry. He goes to his doctor friend, asking for advice and some medication to stop thinking about her. His friend responds, "You came to a respectable doctor, not a magician. How do you expect to fix this? Anyway, because you're like my brother, I'll give you some advice. The moment you see her, just run away." One of the best pieces of advice, or rather the best advice at that moment, is that our protagonist learns that the college is holding a competition. She goes to the hall and suddenly a boy enters with a loud toot. She thinks about how to avoid him, but he just walks past her as if he doesn't see her, then sits next to Lisa, the most popular girl in the college, whom all the boys adore. Our protagonist is completely shocked. Then suddenly the competition begins, and Wen is raising his hand, thinking that he is going to ask the professor if they can be together in the same team. However, the shock comes when they are asked when they will eat. Our protagonist says to her friend, "Why do I feel like I've fallen for the wrong person?" Her friend responds, "Don't feel bad, it's just your luck and fate. It's in your hands." Then the professor announces the names of those who will be together, and it turns out that our protagonist and her crush are in the same team. She feels relieved. However, our protagonist gets upset and leaves the hall, heading straight to Dr. G. He tells him, "I followed your advice, but I still love her. What should I do?" Dr. G replies, "Go confess to her, son, and get this mess over with." He refuses, saying, "I can't. My pride won't let me." He then goes to meet the protagonist and tells her the strategy they will use to win the competition. She says to him, "You're making it feel like we're really competing, and I don't even want to be with you." The next day, the competition begins, but it turns out that her crush is with Lisa. She finds out that our protagonist swapped with him so she could be with Wen. At this point, she's living her life carefree, and she tries to hint to him that she likes him. However, Wen totally ignores her, focused on the competition. He plays seriously. The only time he takes a step towards her is when he tries to be nice and make her feel better. But then our protagonist comes and ruins everything for them, staying close to them. She gets annoyed, storms off, but suddenly she trips, and they rush her to the clinic. When she asks him if he wants to continue playing, he lifts her up and takes her to the hospital instead of the clinic. When they arrive, the nurse isn't there, so he takes care of her treatment himself. She feels embarrassed and tries to avoid him, but he admits to her that he likes her. She says to him, "You think this is the right time? I'm injured in front of you, and you don't even care about my feelings." The next day, she sees him, grabs her friend Yo-Yo, and starts running away. Yo-Yo stops her and asks, "Why are you avoiding him?" She replies, "You've been acting different lately. Have you fallen in love with him or something? You don't even insult him anymore like before." She's taken aback by what Yo-Yo says and tries to avoid the topic, saying, "Of course not. I just don't want to accumulate bad deeds for someone like him. You know we're fasting during Ramadan." Later, she meets Wen and tells him what happened with the protagonist. how he confessed his feelings to her. Wen responds, "Honestly, I was sure he liked you. Why don't you give him a chance?" She replies, "Are you crazy? How could you say that? I've told you a million times I want to be with you." Wen says, "The truth is, I want to get rid of you. I've told you many times that we should just be friends." She gets upset and says, "You all want me to settle for less." After that, he accompanies her, and throughout the whole journey, he keeps trying to convince her to be with the protagonist. She says, "Shut up, you've made me hate all men." The next day, she goes to the protagonist and tells him that she's upset because he confessed his love for her, and now he spends all his time with Lisa. She tells him, "Give me a chance to respond to you. Respect my feelings. Don't just move on to someone else like that without even waiting for me to say no." He replies, "What do you want from me? Are we together or not?" She says, "No, and I hope I never see your face again. Let Lisa help you out." As she walks away, the protagonist notices that her hand is hurt, and he gets worried. He follows her, and as soon as he enters the room, she says to him, "What are you doing here?" He replies, "I heard you were looking for volunteers to draw blood, so I came to help." She's embarrassed because she argued with him earlier, yet he's here helping her. She thanks him, then starts practicing drawing blood with his help. She's nervous and unsure, but despite her uncertainty, he stays with her and encourages her. Eventually, thanks to his support, she succeeds in the test that the doctor set for her and draws the blood properly. Her friend Yo-Yo congratulates her, promising to buy her a meal since she passed. When she returns to her room, she remembers how the protagonist helped her, even though she had said some harsh words to him earlier. She feels guilty and wants to apologize. However, her pride holds her back. Instead, she writes him a letter and leaves it in his locker. When she arrives, she finds that the password is incorrect, so she tries to guess it. At that moment, the protagonist shows up and asks, "What are you doing?" She admits, "Honestly, I'm embarrassed, so I wrote you a letter and left it for you. I want us to be friends again." He agrees, saying, "Forget everything, even the confession. From now on, we'll just be friends like we were before." Although she was the one who suggested it, she feels upset that he agreed so easily. "Damn these hormones," she thinks to herself. Later, when she returns to her room, she learns that the doctor has asked them to bring a skeleton to work on. It's very expensive, and she doesn't have enough money. So she decides to use her baking skills and sells cakes to raise the money. As she practices, she imagines herself winning. Meanwhile, the protagonist asks her to attend the competition on Friday, and he says he'll wait for her, but she tells him she's not interested. When she checks on the cake she made to see if it sold, she finds that no one wants to buy it, and she ends up losing money. Frustrated, she decides to make another cake in the shape of a skeleton, decorating it with a skull. She wraps it up and places it in a box. Suddenly, Lisa enters and sees the gift in front of her. She decides to take the cake to give it as a gift to the protagonist when he wins, but our protagonist tries to warn her, telling her that the cake is totally inappropriate. However, Lisa doesn't care and walks off. Meanwhile, the protagonist is hanging out with Dr. G and asks for advice on how to make the protagonist fall in love with him. Dr. G tells him, "I have one solution for you. Buy her a rabbit." The protagonist is confused and asks, "A rabbit? Will buying her a rabbit make her love me?" Dr. G insists, "If you buy her a rabbit, she'll fall for you, I swear. You have no idea what these rabbits do you? Just buy it, and you'll thank me later." The protagonist doesn't argue and takes Dr. G's advice. Later, he meets with his professor and learns that he's ready to work on the project they discussed. By coincidence, he sees the protagonist carrying a skeleton that she can't lift, so he helps her carry it and walks with her until they part ways. She then encounters Dr. G again and feels uncomfortable as he continues to avoid her despite the fact that he helps her every time. She feels confused and asks him what she should do now. He advises her, "Do the right thing. He has a match on Friday. Go, support him, and cheer for him." The protagonist agrees and decides to go. The next day, when she arrives, she finds Lisa already there. She sits beside her, but Lisa continues to ignore her, acting as if she doesn't care. The match begins, and the protagonist watches as the protagonist plays with all his might to win. However, she's not paying attention at all and continues playing on her phone. When the match ends, the protagonist feels upset when he notices she's not paying attention to him. Afterward, he asks her why she was ignoring him, and she just says she didn't notice. At that moment, Lisa seizes the opportunity and tries to make the protagonist upset with the protagonist. She offers to go out with him as she brought him a gift. But he's not interested and decides to stay with the protagonist instead. He tells her, "I need to talk to you about something important." She replies, "Okay, what is it?" He tells her, "I brought you a rabbit." She's surprised and says, "Fine, I'll start training it from now on. I won't train anyone else." Lisa feels frustrated and decides to eat the whole cake by herself. But when she opens it, she finds that it's shaped like a skull. She gets scared and throws it away. The next day, when the protagonist goes to her lecture, the doctor informs them that they'll have a break, but afterward, there will be an exam for them to take. She advises them to study well, and our protagonist spends her vacation at her parents' house while studying. Jack shows up and decides to help her. She asks him, "What are you doing here? Where's your senior?" He responds, "She's spending the vacation at her parents' house, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to come see you." He starts explaining things to her, but suddenly the protagonist enters and sees them together. He gets upset and urges Jack to study for himself. Jack, feeling competitive, challenges the protagonist to a question, promising to give him all his money if he answers correctly. She replies, "Have you gone mad? Why don't you just give me the money? I'm the one you're fighting over, so I deserve it." Jack tells her to wait and steps aside with the protagonist, saying the matter is personal and there's a scientific battle at stake. She gets frustrated with both of them, walks away, and leaves them arguing. The next day, the doorbell rings. When she opens it, she finds Jenny standing there. Jenny explains that her parents had a fight and left the house, and she's scared to be alone. Our protagonist sympathizes with her, forgives her, and says she can stay with her. They sit down to have breakfast together, but suddenly Jack and the protagonist show up. Jack gets nervous and asks Jenny, "What are you doing here?" Jenny replies, "Nothing much. My parents fought, and I decided to come stay here." "But what are you doing here, handsome?" Jack says, "I came to study with the protagonist." The protagonist, feeling a bit awkward, decides to leave and let them study together. Jenny pushes Jack to leave with her, and the protagonist goes back to studying alone. Later, when the protagonist checks on her, she says, "Are you happy now? You've left, so I can study alone." But the protagonist is clever and starts asking her some questions to help her recall what she studied, and she answers them well. She feels grateful that he's trying to help her. In his own way, he tells her, "Since you caught me, let's go to the cinema." She asks, "What about studying?" He replies, "Well, we've studied enough for today." She agrees, and they go there. She finds out that he got her a movie without subtitles and wants her to watch it to immerse herself in the language. She says, "Are you trying to embarrass me or put me down?" He responds, "Just watch and be quiet." After the movie ends, he asks, "Did you learn anything?" She responds sarcastically, "Of course the hero is so handsome. Don't you know his Instagram account?" He says, "You're going to give me a heart attack. No one is going to give me a heart attack except you. I brought you here to watch this because all the medical information in it will help you with your exam. Are you telling me you didn't learn anything? Should I play it again?" She says, "No way! I'm going to study at home. It's better." When they get back to the house, Jenny asks her about her relationship with the protagonist. "Do you love him or what?" She denies it and says, "We're just friends." After some time, the vacation ends. Our protagonist calls Wang and asks him to take her back to the dorm. Wang walks with her, clearly upset. When they see the protagonist ahead, Wang says, "Help me out, please, brother. Take her and drop her off. I'm exhausted. If I was a slave, I wouldn't be doing this. I'm carrying everything." The protagonist takes the bag and agrees to drop them off. On the way, a friend of the protagonist shows up and asks if he's finally managed to get into a relationship with her. This makes the protagonist mad, and she tells him that they're not in a relationship and that she's not planning to get into one until she graduates. Meanwhile, the protagonist starts thinking about how to convince her of his love without affecting her studies. However, she doesn't give him a chance and remains busy all day. Every time he tries to talk to her, she avoids him. He asks Dr. G for help, who advises him to observe her interests and get her a suitable gift, maybe something related to food, so she can understand he's hinting at his feelings. Dr. G tells him Hint to her, not just give her a gift. You're saying, I love you, and she's going to say, you're my brother. You'll understand when you see it. But seriously, you've got nothing to lose, so give it a try. When the protagonist starts observing her, he discovers that she loves cooking, so he decides to get closer to her and says, Hey, I've been thinking about learning how to cook. Can you help me? This catches her attention and she starts warming up to him. She gets attracted to him and agrees to meet him at her cooking club, but when he arrives, he finds the door closed. He calls her and asks where she is. She tells him she's with her friend in the clinic. However, when he goes, he finds the door closed. He calls her again and asks where she is, and she says, I'm with my friend in the clinic. Didn't I tell you he's injured? He decides to go to her and starts organizing his thoughts on how to confess to her. At the same time, our protagonist tries to help her friend, but she struggles to examine him properly. Then Yu Yu arrives and helps her. Here, the protagonist feels disappointed and fails, realizing for the first time that medicine might not be her place. She starts thinking about changing her specialization. Suddenly, she encounters a dilemma. He notices she's upset, and he asks her about the reason. She tells him that she failed the test today, and then she starts crying, explaining that every time she studies, she can't answer the questions, and her classmates keep bullying her. They all suggest she switch to another specialization, even though she loves medicine and wants to succeed as a doctor. He comforts her and says that he wants to help her become the best, even the top student, and asks if he can be her tutor. She agrees, but tells him, Just so you know, I'm a bit slow sometimes, like 2 or 3 steps behind. He responds, Don't worry, I'll handle it because I love this. And she smiles, knowing he means it. The next day, he prepares to help her. When she meets him, she says she's ready to study. However, he asks her to go with him to the mall first. The first thing they do is visit a home goods store where they learn about a microwave competition. He advises her to participate in it so she can win and get it for free, making it easier for her to cook. She asks, Are you planning to study with me? Or are you just promoting corruption? You know I love cooking, but I can't abandon my studies. He says to her, You're clueless. This is a strategy. You need to improve your mental health first so that your mind can function properly. He tells her to sign the form so they can finish. She agrees and goes to him, saying she's not ready for the competition, and asks him to tear up the form she wrote. However, he raises it and gives him some sweets. She tells him to taste them. Maybe you'll get food poisoning after eating them and die, and I'll be rid of you. They continue to argue, and she says, I can't cook under pressure, and I feel like a failure in everything in my life. This was the only thing I used to love, and now I can't even do it. He consoles her, and when he tastes the sweets, he realizes they aren't too bad, actually. He says, You just need more practice. Then, he tells her a story about how he used to be afraid of water and drowning, but he was able to overcome his fear, and as you can see, became the best swimmer in college. Our protagonist is moved by his story and asks him to help her. He brings her 3 volunteers who will judge her food, and they love it. She feels proud of herself and decides to go to the competition. When she arrives, she's late and nervous, but the hero tells her he registered with her and will be her assistant. He continues to help her, and although she ends up losing, which was expected, the hero comforts her, saying that she succeeded in his eyes because she overcame her fear and anxiety, showed up for the competition, and even worked hard. He says, If you keep at it, you'll be the best cook. She's happy with his words and thanks him for being there for her. Later, he calls her and says he has a surprise for her. When she comes out, she finds he bought her the microwave as a gift for winning the competition in his eyes. She's surprised and says, Have you lost your memory? I came last, my friend. He replies, But you're first in my heart, I mean in my eyes. Just take it and be quiet. She argues with him, saying he bought it with his own money, and she refuses to accept it and wants him to return it. But he refuses. He says to her, It's none of your business. I'm the one who paid, so just keep it. She starts to feel like she's falling in love with him because he's always helping her, but she tries to deny her feelings and avoid him as much as possible. When she goes to college and he tries to help her, she keeps her distance from him. When Yu Yu tries to get them closer, our protagonist gets angry with her and feels embarrassed. However, when she sits down alone, she reflects on her thoughts and decides to go and check if he's really in love with her. She plans to ask him to check his pulse, but backs out at the last moment because she's afraid to confirm it. And deep down, she realizes she might also be in love with him. The problem is that if she finds out that he's in love with her, she's afraid it will be like what happened with Jack and her heart might not heal again, bringing back the same feelings she lived with before. She also knows that Lisa likes him and won't easily let him go. Then she sees Lisa, the scorpion, and feels upset when she notices them together. Lisa comes to her and asks her to teach her how to make sweets. Our protagonist, being kind-hearted, agrees and takes her to the kitchen. As soon as Lisa learns that no one is with her at the club, she asks if she can join her, and she agrees. Lisa takes the opportunity to tell her a dangerous secret. She confesses that she's in love with someone from their college and describes him, and the description matches their hero. Our protagonist feels upset, thinking that Lisa understands her feelings, and might even like him too. However, Lisa picks up on the expression on her face, and enjoys making her feel guilty. The protagonist then fears that she might end up like her friend Jenny, not wanting anyone to come between her and the person she likes. She then talks to Yu Yu, who reassures her, telling her she's not to blame, and encourages her to focus on their competition. The next day, unexpectedly, Yu Yu falls ill and tells her that she won't be able to go. She asks her to present the lecture instead. She rushes to the college and arrives just in time, before the professor gives them a 0. She asks him to let her present the lecture, and he agrees. However, when she starts, no one listens to her, and they start bullying her. Just when she's about to give up, the hero sends her a message encouraging her, and not only that, he also shows up in person to support her. She begins presenting again, and this time her classmates are impressed with her explanation. She manages to wow them with her skills. The professor gives her a perfect score, and she goes to thank the hero, but he tells her he's upset because she gave Lisa his number. "I told you I don't like this kind of thing," he says. She tells him that Lisa isn't just anyone, that she's the girl who likes him, and maybe they'll even end up together. "Tomorrow she'll come and thank me, just wait," she adds with a smile. He's hurt by her words, and walks away. When she leaves the lecture, she finds Lisa crying and distraught. Lisa tells her that she tried calling the hero, but he blocked her. "He's mad at me and doesn't want to talk to me at all," she says. Meanwhile, the hero feels guilty for adding more sadness to the protagonist's special day. He decides to go back and speak to her calmly to clear things up. But just as he arrives, he overhears the protagonist telling Lisa that she's not into him, that he's not even her type, and encouraging Lisa to confess her love and keep chasing after him. The hero feels hurt by what he hears and changes his mind about talking to her. The protagonist realizes he heard everything, but feels there's nothing she can do. She didn't want Lisa to go through the same heartbreak she once did, so she decides to give up on her love for the second time. She remains upset because the hero heard what she said, and though she thinks about explaining her point of view, she changes her mind again, saying, "It's not like we were ever anything anyway. Let him be upset." Meanwhile, the hero's friends notice he's not himself anymore and that he's distracted. They ask him what's bothering him. He replies, "If I could tell you, I would, guys. But I know you don't really understand this kind of thing. You're even more clueless than I am." His friends say, "Take your time, boss. We just wanted to support you. You're our role model. You always encourage us." This hits the hero deeply. He pulls himself together and decides to try again. When he hears that she's in the library, he goes to help her and studies with her to show her she's special, that she has a place in his heart, and that she must fall in love with him. But she acts clueless and gives him no attention. Suddenly, while studying, she dozes off and decides to go wash her face to wake up. When she comes back, she finds him sitting with Lisa, and everyone around is praising the two of them. Everyone starts saying how perfect the hero and Lisa look together, like two puzzle pieces that just fit. Our protagonist hears this, feels crushed, and walks back to her room. Later, when she goes to class, the professor announces that she and Yu Yu won first place in the competition. She's shocked but thrilled. She hugs Yu Yu and insists they go out to celebrate. Yu Yu agrees. Suddenly, the hero shows up in front of her and hands her some books. He asks, "How did Lisa know I was in the library? Did you tell her where I was?" She gets nervous and denies it, saying, "I don't get involved in things between you two, but honestly, I think you're a good match. Maybe give her a chance." He gets upset by her response and asks her to have lunch with him, just the two of them. She refuses and says she's going out with her friends, then adds, "Why don't you come along?" He gets angry and says, "Why can't you just understand me?" Then storms off back to his room and starts thinking, "Why am I even bothering? I should just ruin their perfect little outing." At the restaurant, he shows up, and surprise, he's not alone. He's brought Lisa with him. Lisa starts clinging to him and tries to get him to talk to her alone, but he refuses and says, "Can you not? I want to watch the musical performance. Don't ruin it." Meanwhile, our protagonist's feet start hurting badly from her shoes, and she's about to collapse. The hero notices and immediately helps her out of the restaurant, tending to her feet. She seizes the opportunity to ask him if he's still upset with her. He replies, "I'm not mad at you. I'm hurt because you lied to me." She finally tells him the truth. "I was trying to get Lisa closer to you because she wants to experience a love story, and I've made up my mind. I'm quitting medical school." He's shocked. "What's that got to do with anything? You just won first place?" She responds, "I just don't see myself in this field. That's why I don't want to hold on to feelings for you because we're going to drift apart anyway." Her words make him angry and they start arguing again. Our guy leaves her, saying, "Fine, I'll walk away this time." Then, Yu Yu shows up to help her get home. The protagonist confesses to Yu Yu that she's decided to quit their department. She tells her the only reason she joined was because of Jack, but since nothing ever happened between them, there's no point in continuing something she doesn't love. She says, "I don't want to keep making decisions based on emotions." When she goes to college to officially withdraw, she finds that Yu Yu left her a video from their very first day at school, how happy they were in their white coats. The memories hit her hard. She starts crying, feeling guilty, and tells Yu Yu, "I'm so sorry for thinking about leaving you behind. I'll never quit medicine again. I'll stay with you until we graduate together." She also starts feeling guilty for the way she fought with the hero, especially since he was only looking out for her. She decides she'll apologize to him when she sees him. Then she hears that the college is organizing a festival for their upcoming holiday. She decides to take the chance and sell her sweets at the event. At the same time, the hero also decides to go and apologize. He doesn't know how he'll find her, but he just wants to. When he arrives at the festival, she sees him first. Before he can say anything, she apologizes and gives him a cake from her stand. She admits that he was right, that her place is in medicine, and she shouldn't have given up on her dream so easily. She tells him she's staying in school for good. He replies, "That's more like it. But hey, I'm sorry too. I was pushing you too hard and not really understanding how you felt." They reconcile, and he gives her a gift. It's a turtle, and he asks her to take care of it. Suddenly, Jack shows up and asks her for the heart-shaped cake he'd requested earlier. This pisses off the hero. When he sees the heart-shaped cake, he ruins it out of jealousy. The protagonist gets angry and snaps at Jack. "I don't want to see your face again. Let's just get through today without any more drama, because next time, it won't be so pretty." Jack replies, "Fine, but just so you know, I'm coming back anyway. And if he messes with me, I'll ruin things again. Do whatever you want." Later, while he's walking around, the hero runs into Wang, who starts rambling non-stop. The hero thinks to himself, "Man, I'd rather go listen to her scold me again. This guy's unbearable," and heads back to the protagonist. But as soon as he sees the cake and realizes they've made up, he messes it up again out of jealousy. Our protagonist feels sorry for the poor cake, how it keeps getting wrecked like that. She says to him, "You did this?" And he replies, "Yeah." She snaps, "That street behind you, you're lucky your day isn't over yet. I swear I'll mess you up." He gets angry and tells her, "I'll get you another one, okay? But watch your tone. This isn't the way you talk to me. I swear I'm not a kid and I'm really upset right now." Then he goes and sits alone in a tent. She starts feeling guilty for snapping at him and goes to apologize, telling him she didn't mean to scold him like that. She explains that the cake was for Jenny and Jack wanted to celebrate with it. So she says she's not even into Jack anymore. That makes our hero happy, and he suggests they make a new cake together. He promises he'll help this time and won't mess it up. The day ends and our heroine returns home exhausted, but she's greeted by Yo-Yo, who says, "Hey, the results are out! God help us!" She rushes to check them, stunned. And when she sees she passed, with no failures at all, she's overwhelmed with joy. She grabs her things, excited to go celebrate Eid. And not just with anyone, with her family. She says, "I made it, guys!" She arrives and is thrilled that she succeeded. They decide to throw her a party and prepare a big meal. When her mother asks about the guy, our hero, She tells her that he didn't travel to celebrate with his family because his home is far away, so he decided to stay at college. Her mother feels bad and asks her to go bring him over to celebrate with them. The next day, she goes to college and sees him. She panics and thinks about going back home without him. But he sees her and says, "What are you doing here? Today's Eid. You should be with your family." She says, "Honestly, I came to invite you to celebrate Eid with us. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not in love with you or anything, God forbid. It's just my mom." He replies, "Really? Well, say hi to my mother-in-law. I mean, your mom." The next day he goes to her place to celebrate. They spend the whole day together, playing and joking. For the first time, he feels the true spirit of Eid. Then suddenly it starts snowing. She's thrilled and goes outside to see it, and he joins her. That's when she starts to feel something for him again. What is this feeling? Is this admiration? Oh God, I really hope he doesn't leave this time. I've truly fallen for him. Family to thank them for hosting him. Our heroine is overjoyed and thanks him. When she walks him out, she starts to realize that she truly loves him. It's no longer just a crush. She clings to him and says, "Hey, what do you think? Should we get into a relationship? Just so you know, this isn't just admiration." Our hero is thrilled and says he's in. But she quickly adds, "No, seriously, it's not love. I just want you to pretend to be my boyfriend for one day and come with me to the school party." He's confused for a moment, but agrees, saying anything for someone who reminds me of the people I care about. They go to the party together, and everyone is shocked to see them. They ask her, "When did you two get together?" She panics and doesn't know whether to lie or tell the truth. Then the hero steps in and says, "Guys, I'm the one who fell for her. I confessed and asked her to be with me." He spends the whole event taking care of her, making everyone believe in their relationship, and even making some of them jealous. Later, she pulls him aside and says, "You seriously need to tell them this was all an act because I'm starting to believe it myself. Who do you think you are? Adele Imam or something? Don't get too into the role." He responds, "Shut up, silly. This is my full strategy mode." The day ends well, with everyone convinced they're truly together. When our heroine gets home, she keeps thinking about him and how she might see him again. She looks for any excuse but finds none, until suddenly, his cousin calls her, saying she's on campus and needs help. She takes the opportunity and calls him to come meet them. There, she asks, "Are you busy during the upcoming break?" He replies, "Not really. Why?" She suggests they go out together, and he immediately agrees. She's over the moon. When she gets home, she tells Yo-Yo, "My plan worked. We're going out again." Yo-Yo says, "This is your chance. You've got to get closer to him and finally tell him you love him. Make him your real boyfriend already. Be a fun, flirty girl, but if he gets too close, turn into a fierce one." She laughs and says, "Of course. From today on, consider me Adam's mom, and he's Adam's dad, obviously." The next day, she goes to meet him in the park and gets a shock. He shows up with Wang. She's like, "Who's this guy? What is he doing here?" This was supposed to be about Adam and Adam's mom. During the whole outing, Wang sticks to them like glue. Every time our heroine tries to get closer to the hero, Wang's face suddenly appears in the middle. She turns to her friend. "Help me! What do I do with this disaster I've landed in?" Her friend says, "You're just gonna sit there? Punch him! Chase him off! Drive him crazy if you have to! Just don't let him stay glued to you!" So she taps into her inner superhero. She distracts our hero, pulls off a clever trick, and escapes with him before Wang can catch up, and everything suddenly feels wonderful. They both start their hospital training. When the hero finds out she's starting her clinical rounds, he insists on dropping her off, and even waits for her to finish. On the way home, she tells him there's a big competition coming up and her name's been submitted. "I'm nervous," she says. He reassures her, "I'll help you, don't worry." Then he gives her some useful study materials that could help her win. But while they're walking, Scorpion Lisa spots them. She storms over to the heroine and says, "Hey, listen up, I came for you and my patience is paper thin." The heroine tries to hide like she did last time. But this time, Lisa has a new request. She wants help getting closer to the hero. And for the first time ever, our heroine actually uses her brain. She says, "Honestly, I'm sorry, I love him, I can't help you. But because I have a good heart, I'll let you compete for him. Let him choose who he wants to be with." Lisa shows her true colors. "Have you seen yourself in a mirror? Obviously, he'll pick me." Our heroine calmly replies, We'll see. The next day during training, she learns that the doctor will be performing a 10-hour surgery. She stands there the entire time, watching closely and learning. When the surgery ends, the doctor notices how dedicated and focused she's been, staying up and following every move. He tells her she's going to be a great doctor one day, and that makes her incredibly happy. On her way home to get some rest, she's surprised to bump into our hero, right in front of her. He tells her he stayed up all night waiting for her. She lights up with joy, feeling more certain than ever that he likes her. Now she's confident she'll beat Lisa, hands down. Later, he takes her to the library and casually says, "Did I forget to tell you? Our organization is also hosting a competition, and we'll be competing against each other." He sees the fire in her eyes and smiles. He wants her to be a strong rival. The next day, when they arrive, he brings her a folder and reminds her to have a good breakfast so she can focus and win. Lisa sees them together, burns with jealousy, and tries to bully her, but our hero steps in, distracts Lisa with some clever talk, and steers her away. The competition begins. He's acing all the questions, but our heroine isn't backing down. She's answering just as fast and just as well. Then an argument breaks out between the teams. Suddenly, one of the judges throws in a question about love. Seizing the moment, our heroine jumps in and asks him, "Tell us honestly, are you crushing on someone right now? Have you felt real admiration or love recently?" He replies, "Yeah, to be honest, I have. And the girl I love is actually here with us today. She's around." Then he adds, "And I'm not talking about anyone else but you." Everyone is stunned. Our heroine is floored. She thinks to herself, "Wait, he really likes me, so where are all those crushes I had who never said anything, only showed up during finals and gossip season?" Then she bursts out with fiery confidence. "You know what? I'm not keeping quiet this time. I'm saying it in front of the whole campus. He's mine. His name is basically tattooed on my arm, and anyone who tries to get close to him, I'll show no mercy." Yo-Yo, her friend, cheers her on. "Go for it. I'm right behind you." And just as all this fiery energy explodes from her side, our hero goes to his friends and says, "All right, guys, I've made up my mind. I'm going to confess. Help me come up with something creative, something a little romantic, maybe with flowers. The most important thing is the place. Your boy's finally getting into a relationship, guys." At the same time, our heroine hears from Wang that Jenny and Jack had a big fight, and they might even break up. She panics, afraid those old feelings for Jack might come back, so she decides to avoid him completely. Every time she sees him at the hospital, she dodges him and disappears. Later, she decides to clear her head and get ready to confess her feelings to her hero. Just then, Jack shows up and is completely stunned by how beautiful she looks. He asks her, honestly, if she ever liked him. She gets flustered and replies, "Yeah, I did like you once, but now someone else has my heart. You're on your path and I'm on mine. But I truly wish you happiness. With Jenny." Then she turns to walk away, but suddenly she stumbles. And at the last second, Jack catches her before she falls face first. At that exact moment, Jenny arrives, sees them like that, and completely misunderstands. She thinks they've gotten back together. She's devastated and in a dramatic fit, throws cake right at our heroine. Our heroine cries out, "Why me? What did I do?" Then bolts off to wash her face before anyone else sees her like that. But of course, our hero spots her. He rushes over and asks what happened. She breaks down and tells him everything. So, he gently helps her clean up, gives her some clothes to change into, and even helps her wash her hair. That's it. The romance is now officially happening. In the bathroom, apparently. But no, not yet. She heads home, thankful the day is over. Later, she gets dressed up in a beautiful dress, ready to meet him and finally confess her love. But just then, Jack calls. "Help! Jenny's gone. I can't find her. I'm really worried." He begs her to come help look for Jenny. Meanwhile, our hero notices that she's late. He calls her, concerned. She tells him she has something important to take care of, and she'll come see him as soon as it's done. She rushes to the place where Jenny is and tries to calm her down. "You misunderstood. I tripped. Jack just caught me, that's all. Come on, let's go home." But Jenny lashes out. She refuses to listen, completely out of it from drinking too much lemon juice. Yes, lemon juice, but apparently a very bitter version. She starts saying hurtful things, but our heroine stays quiet, taking it. because she knows Jenny isn't in her right state of mind. They start taunting her and she's frightened. But just then, her hero shows up, already taking action and fighting them off. In the chaos, she seizes the moment and blurts out, "Hey man, you're so strong and I love you. This is the right time for me to confess." He stares at her, bewildered, and says, "What did you just say?" "Sorry, I was flying up in the clouds there." She feels embarrassed, but before she can respond, Jack arrives. He turns to our hero, saying, "Watch out for your girl." Then he pulls her away, and as they walk, she's convinced he'll finally respond to her confession. "Tell me, what's your answer? My heart's waiting for peace of mind." But instead, he's upset with her. He's angry because she rushed things and didn't ask for help. He tells her, "You could have avoided all this. It wasn't the right time." She insists, "But what about your response? Don't leave me hanging, especially with the gang situation." He says, "Fine. I'll give you my answer tomorrow after my competition. Hopefully, if I win." Back at home, she talks to Yo-Yo, saying, "The jerk, he says he'll answer me tomorrow after his competition. I made the move, confessed everything, and he says, 'I'll tell you tomorrow.' What if he loses, though? Will he never tell me?" Yo-Yo reassures her, "Don't worry, he's definitely joking. He definitely likes you. He's just taking his time." Meanwhile, back with the guys, our hero has noticeably become nicer. He speaks to everyone with more kindness and keeps repeating, "Tomorrow I have to win. This victory is for me and for her. I'll be chasing after every single one of you tomorrow, so you better be ready." The day of the competition arrives. Our heroine cheers for him from the stands, and as soon as he spots her, he plays even better. She smiles, knowing this is the moment. After the event, she rushes to his room, hoping to finally get her answer. But when she walks in, she's stunned to find him standing there with Lisa. And, "What's this?" Lisa's holding flowers. She misunderstands, thinking, so he does like her? She feels heartbroken and walks out quickly. But just as she leaves, our hero turns to Lisa and says, "The flowers aren't for you. These are for the girl I love, the one I've been waiting to tell my feelings to. And from now on, don't come cheer for me again." She's confused. No need for all that anger. She must have misunderstood, but it's fine. She definitely knows what's up now. "Two, don't you think you should give me a chance? Maybe I'll grow on you," she says. But our heroine hears this and realizes that it's been her plan all along, to drive a wedge between them. She steps forward and says, "I've stayed quiet for too long, but now I'm going to pull you by your hair. Look, I like you. I love you. What are you going to do about it? Honestly, I won't even be upset if you choose her. I won't cry, I swear to you, but..." Then suddenly she starts crying, and after a few moments she faints. He rushes to her saying, "Is this the drama you're doing? I love you. Why all this drama?" She responds, "Well, I knew it. Now give me the flowers and make sure you treat me to shawarma from the Levant to make it up to me. You made me cry." She takes the flowers and walks away. But suddenly she hears something on the stairs. She's startled, and our hero rushes to check. When he arrives at the hospital, he's shocked to find that it wasn't her who fell, it was Wang. The heroine is perfectly fine. Our hero insists on driving her himself to make sure she's okay. During the ride, they both realize that he had clarified everything to Lisa, that it was all over between them, and that there's no need to avoid her. He urges the heroine to try to get along with Lisa, as he doesn't like to create bad blood between friends. The heroine is relieved, knowing that he's a good person at heart, and finally all their problems seem to be resolved. She bids him goodbye and heads to her room. But when she gets there, she finds Lisa waiting for her. As soon as Lisa sees her, she runs up to her, but the heroine stops her and apologizes. "There's no reason for us to have problems. I was acting like that to protect my one true love." She tells Lisa she's beautiful, and that many people will surely love her too, but advises her to open her heart and connect with people outside of their circle. "I'm giving you a chance to love and be loved, and I hope we can be friends again." And just like that, things are patched up between them. Later, when our hero returns to his room, his friend teases him, saying, "Now that you're in a relationship, you have to look out for your friend too. If your friend doesn't end up with her, I'll ruin your relationship. I love a girl named Yo-Yo, and I'll make things work out." He became serious, and we stopped saying, "Wow, you're my friend." You know, like my close one. It's like, look at the legs and the pants, meaning I protect you and you keep me safe. The next day, our hero goes with Yo-Yo to a restaurant with her friend, and she's excited because it's their first date. They arrive, sit down, and everything looks great. Our hero orders food and she tries to act cute, saying, "That's enough, I can't eat more, you know I don't eat a lot." He jokingly responds, "Who is this that doesn't eat a lot? You're like a vacuum. I'm afraid we won't have enough food from the moment we sat down." She says, "Okay, you embarrassed me in front of your friend." "Fine, look around and see how couples act with romance." He replies, "Do you think you're in some competition or something? Why are you acting like I'm just a friend?" She says, "Okay, I'll learn over time. It's just our first date." When they go to karaoke, instead of singing love songs, they sing something like, "He will come to me, tears in his eyes, and then it will end." Her friend Yo-Yo watches them and says, "What's wrong with you guys? You've embarrassed us. Have you never been in a relationship before? Why not treat him kindly and sing him some songs by Nancy Ajram or Haifa Webe?" That makes her think and realize something's wrong in their relationship. Our hero also feels she's upset about something, but when he asks her, she doesn't respond. She keeps practicing silent treatment, hoping he'll change and be more romantic. But he really enjoys it, especially since she stopped talking. The next day, when they meet at the library and the silence hasn't worked, she tries to hint to him that they are supposed to be a couple, showing kindness, saying, "Let's live love in heaven. I've never felt this happiness before." He doesn't respond well, and she says, "You've never heard of Shireen?" He replies, "No, honestly, Shireen is just sweets. Is that what you're talking about?" She says, "Sweets? Yeah, sweets. I'm going through some tough times, and I get upset with him. His cold attitude keeps repeating, hoping that he'll realize and get the message." After that, she goes to complain to Yo-Yo, saying, "What should I do? He doesn't understand. And it's annoying. I used to say that I didn't understand things, but until now, he hasn't said baby to me." Yo-Yo responds, "Did he never say baby to you?" She says, "No, he didn't." Yo-Yo replies, "Are you okay with that?" "No, this guy needs to learn some manners." She says, "Okay, I'll teach him." And she has a plan. She invites him over for lunch at her place, and when he arrives with lots of gifts, he says, "What's that smell?" "I smell something burning." She goes to check the source and finds that her cooking has burned. But not only that, she also hurts herself, and he saves her, putting out the fire and treating her injury. During this time, his mother arrives at the house, starts cooking, and asks, "What's going on with you guys?" He feels embarrassed, and is about to respond when she quickly intervenes, saying, "Didn't I tell you that we're in a relationship? You're forcing him to face the reality." She becomes confident, facing him, and says to his mother, "Shouldn't it be the other way around? Isn't it supposed to be the man who wins the woman's heart? Or is your family the opposite?" She adds, "So, what's going to happen?" "I already know what's going to happen in the future when we get married." His mom says, "Honestly, I'm worried about him. May God protect him. I'm heading into some tough times." When they return to university, our hero suggests that they go out on a date again. This time he insists that they'll be alone and that no one else will know. She says, "Honestly, I was feeling like you finally understood." She goes back to her room and starts thinking about a good restaurant for them to go to. She talks to Yo-Yo, suggesting that they go to the cinema and watch a romantic film instead. She says, "I was lost for a while, but now we're going to ruin it. We'll watch the movie, go, and come back. Trust me, I've got it under control." Later, when she wakes up after the movie ends, she says, "Where are we and who are you? Look, we can't do romantic things like this." She says, "Let's watch a horror movie. I'm not into romance, to be honest." She's still upset that she ruined the date and that it was boring because of her. But our hero, on the contrary, tells her that he actually enjoyed the date and had a great time with her. He even takes her to a shop to make gifts and exchange them with each other. Then he takes her to the restaurant, where he fell in love with her. At that time, she was making strange moves in the mirror, thinking no one could see her, but he and his friends saw her and laughed about it. She asks him, "Are you trying to embarrass me or what?" He replies, "I didn't mean to, believe me. The thing I love most about you is your foolishness." When she takes a picture of them and posts it on her account, everyone starts bullying her, claiming she stole Lisa's boyfriend. No one believes they're really together, but our hero defends her in front of everyone, saying that he loves her. She's happy and regains her self-confidence. She goes back to her room and tells Yo-Yo about the date, saying it was perfect. Just as she's about to be happy, she gets a call from Jenny saying, "Help me, I've broken up with Jack, you need to comfort me." Unfortunately, during this time, our heroine finds out that the hero will be traveling for a project. She goes to say goodbye to him, feeling upset, but he reassures her, saying he will call her every day to check in on her. She tells him, "Fine, fine, just leave. Don't let me turn this into a drama again." She goes to the hospital to check on Wong, and while there, she gets a call from Yo-Yo asking her to come over. She gives her excuse that no one is joining her and that the college is about to shut down. She gets upset. When our hero calls to check on her, he realizes she's upset and asks her the reason. She tells him that they want to shut down their club, and when he offers to help her, she refuses, saying that she was already planning to close it because lately she's been busy and thinking about switching majors. He tells her, "It's up to you, but if you ever need help, just call me anytime. No matter what, I'm your boyfriend." She hangs up with him. As the days pass, our heroine decides to surprise him by traveling to spend a day with him. When he sees her, he's happy and thanks her for coming to check on him herself. He tells her that he missed her, and he takes her to a restaurant to meet his colleagues. Our heroine worries that they might make fun of her, but they treat her kindly, and she starts liking him even more. When he drops her off afterward, he suggests that she switch to a more suitable specialty, saying, "You're great at cooking and studying medicine, so I think you should specialize in nutrition. I'm sure you'll do well in that department." When she returns to college, our heroine decides to change her cooking club into a nutrition club, announcing it to everyone. She's happy because more people are interested in it. Meanwhile, our hero finds out that she listened to his advice and changed the club. He's proud of her, congratulates her, and encourages her to keep going, saying he'll focus on finishing his project. She starts to focus on her studies, staying busy all the time. Unfortunately, she forgets to send him a message to check on him. As usual, he gets upset, thinking she's mad at him. All of this, dear viewer, is because she didn't respond to him for 9 hours. He worries and calls Yo-Yo asking about the heroine. Yo-Yo tells him that she's sleeping, that she's been exhausted all day, running back and forth between hospitals. He tells her, "Okay, when she wakes up, have her send me a message to let me know she's okay." When the heroine wakes up, Yo-Yo tells her that the hero wants to talk to her. She realizes that she's been absent, so she rushes to the hospital without calling him. When she arrives, a woman asks her to read some test results. The heroine explains that she's not yet a doctor, still in training. The woman, however, scolds her harshly, saying, "You're wearing the lab coat for nothing." The supervising doctor hears the sound of the argument and goes to read the test results to the woman, so she can leave. After that, she speaks to our heroine privately, scolding her and telling her that she had already explained the test results earlier when she was late. She says, "If you had come earlier, you would have been able to explain them without any problem, and no one would have had the chance to say anything to you. You need to understand that as a doctor, you're responsible for many lives, so you need to be up to the responsibility." The heroine goes home upset, only to find that our hero has sent her a box full of gifts. He tells her that he knows she's been busy lately and asks her not to stress herself out. He also tells her that if she ever needs help, she can call him. She's happy and calls him, explaining what happened at the hospital and how she was late for an important lecture, as well as the awkward situation she faced. The conversation goes back and forth, and he starts comforting her. Despite the distance between them, they both still love each other. She tells him that she has decided to focus more on her studies during this time, and that they can't communicate much for a few days. He tells her that he has no problem with that and will wait for her to message him when she's free. As the days pass, the holiday comes, and as soon as our hero finds out, he immediately takes the opportunity to go out and meet her. She's happy when she sees him and thanks him. He is always by her side, helping her, and says to her, "Guess what? I have a surprise for you. Look, we're both going to travel together." He takes her to the airport, but the shock comes when she arrives and finds that the hero's family is there and they are also traveling. At this moment, the heroine says, "No, they'll get the wrong idea. I thought I was traveling alone with him." But instead, they do it in a nice way, and they even praise the hero, saying, "You turned out to be even more beautiful than you described, son. We wish you both a happy life." They leave, and the heroine reaches the house where she'll stay. She goes to sleep and hears strange noises, which scare her, so she calls the hero and says, "Are you with me?" He asks, "Where are you going to sleep?" She replies, On your bed, honestly, I can't sleep alone. He says, just relax. You're making a drama out of this. She responds, I was sure you would never let me sleep alone. Suddenly, he starts hearing a noise too and gets worried, but he discovers that his cousin and her boyfriend have arrived, and they'll be staying with them. The next day, they all go out, and the hero tells her he has a surprise for her. It's dark, and she says, I know what you're going to say. You'll tell me that this is my life without you, and we'll go ahead, right? But I know you too well. He lights the room and has decorated it with balloons. Not only that, he tells her how much he loves her, and that he wants to be with her forever. He says, I know we'll both be busy in the coming period, but I'll always love you. She replies, you all say that, but I believe you. They return from the trip, and the hero and his friends plan to celebrate her birthday. He asks his friend to keep her distracted while he gets everything ready. Then they take her to the temple for the celebration. She's surprised by the weird outfits they are wearing, but says, it's not important. What matters is that I'm happy. The hero plans to surprise her at the end of the day by asking her to marry him. However, things go wrong, and instead of surprising her, he mistakenly confesses his feelings to another girl. At the end of the day, she feels lost and scared being alone, but she finds the hero standing in front of her and offers her his proposal. She smiles, laughs, and suddenly screams, saying, I'm going to die. He says, I know, but why are you screaming? She replies, I really feel like I'm going to die, you idiot. He rushes her to the doctor, and they find out she has appendicitis and she needs surgery. The hero takes her to the hospital, and she keeps screaming, asking for her phone. Despite everything, she blames him and says, You're the reason for this. He asks, What did I do? She replies, Shut up. 2 months later, she recovers from the surgery, and the hero finally confesses that he wants to marry her. She agrees, and just as they're about to celebrate, someone named Wang appears in front of them, saying, You missed me, right? I didn't ruin your time this time. And so, the characters in our story, the heroes, all celebrate the wedding. So, if you've made it this far, I can tell you you've seen something great that you've never seen before. To show appreciation for this greatness, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't miss the greatness, as you can see, and it's in your hands to enjoy these videos because they are all amazing. My advice to you, subscribe, goodbye. 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 Subscribe,